In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Walid speaking from Modern Academy Secondary School. Today we are going to explain a lesson for third secondary courses. درسنا اليوم للثالث ثانوي مقررات Unit 4 Culture Old and New Developing Speaking. speaking وزي ما احنا عارفين الأورال 6 marks in the final mark. Today we are study describing a past event. وصف حدث في الماضي. Work with a partner. Look at the pictures. Take in turns to describe what you can see. Say what is happening and what the people are doing. إيه اللي ممكن توصفوا في الصورتين أو الأربع صور اللي موجودين قدامك دول. الناس دي بتعمل إيه بالظبط؟ Okay. And now في activity number 3, listen to a teenager talking about a school trip that was special for her. Which pictures are similar to her experiences? هنسمع دلوقتي إلى teenager بتتكلم عن school trip رحلة مدرسية that was special for her. أي صورة هي الصورة اللي هي بتوصفها. We will start listening to the girl now and guess which picture she is talking about.
Speaking. Exercise 3.
Developing speaking. Exercise.
Do you remember any particular school trips?
Oh, yes. The one I remember the most was about 2 years ago when I went to a recording of a poetry program with my class. Oh, and with our teacher, of course.
Where was that?
It was at a small TV studio near to the center of my hometown.
And what happened? Why do you remember it?
Well, at first, it wasn't anything special. It was a bit boring, to be honest. But later, after about half an hour, the presenter asked if anybody had a poem they wanted to read. I was really shy when I was smaller, but I used to write poems. All my friends knew I'd written one that was on the wall of the classroom. So they started to say, "Rana has a poem. Rana has a poem." So the presenter asked me to go up onto the stage. At first, I said I didn't want to, but in the end, she kept on insisting, and so I went.
How did you feel?
Oh, I was really frightened. It was embarrassing because I'd never read anything in public, apart from with friends. Anyway, I wasn't sure I could remember all of the words. I was so nervous that at first nobody could hear me. But after a minute or two, I started to feel more relaxed and enjoy myself. At the end, all of the audience was clapping and shouting my name. It was an amazing experience.
What happened next?
Next, they didn't any more poems. I said I didn't have one that was ready, just one that wasn't quite finished. But they asked me to read it anyway, so I did. Later on, everybody said that the best thing about the school trip was my poetry. I think that's why I enjoy reading and writing poetry so much now.
Now the girl finished talking. She was attending a program on TV studio. كانت بتحضر برنامج في استوديو تلفزيوني. At first the program was boring. في البداية كان البرنامج ممل. But later ولكن بعد ذلك they asked her to say a poem إنها تقول قصيدة on a stage على خشبة المسرح. At first she was impressed. في البداية كانت هي مرتبكة لأنها it was the first time to read something in public. كانت أول مرة إن هي تقرأ شيء على الجمهور يعني. But later she enjoyed herself. ولكن بعد ذلك هي استمتعت بنفسها. I think she was describing this event. هي picture number 3. كانت بتشرح في الصورة number 4 اللي هي picture number 3 the girl on the stage picture number 3. في question 4 work with a partner. Are these sentences true or false? Correct the false sentences. هل الجمل دي صحيحة أم خاطئة؟ ولو هي خاطئة correct the false ones. صحح الخاطئة. Number 1 the school trip happened quite recently. يعني الرحلة المدرسية دي حدثت مؤخرا. طبعا true. Number 2 the girl enjoyed the TV program at first. في البداية كانت تستمتع بالبرنامج. I think false because it was very boring at first. Number 3 she wanted to go on stage because she was pleased with her poem. هي كانت عايزة تطلع على خشبة المسرح لأنها كانت مسرورة من البويم القصيدة بتاعتها. false. Her friends asked her or insisted to say her poem on public. أصدقائها هم اللي أصروا عليها وألحوا عليها إن هي تقرأ القصيدة. Number 4 the girl was very impressed at first. في البداية كانت impressed مرتبكة but later she really enjoyed herself. استمتعت بنفسها. طبعا كلام ده true. Number 5 she only read one poem. يعني هي قرأت قصيدة واحدة. false خطأ. طبعا number 2 the program was a bit boring at first. ده تصحيح number 2. Number 3 the girl was shy and didn't want to go on the stage at first. هي أصلا طبيعتها إن هي كانت خجولة وهي صغيرة وما كانتش عايزة تطلع على خشبة المسرح في البداية. Number 5 she read a second one. قرأت قصيدة تانية even though it wasn't quite finished. وكمان هي ما أنهتهاش كويس يعني. في question 5 listen again and take the words and expressions that you hear in the speaking bank. The speaking bank here are some useful words. بعض الكلمات المفيدة and expressions والعبارات المفيدة for reporting past events. عشان أنقل past events يعني أحداث في الماضي. أوكي. ممكن أستخدم كل العبارات دي في وصف حدث في الماضي describing a past event. For example at first أو first. يعني في البداية أول حدث ممكن تقول at first أو first. ممكن أستخدم في العبارات اللي بعد كده next أو then أو later. next هم كلهم معناهم لاحقا أو بعد ذلك. ممكن أستخدم a few seconds أو a few minutes a few hours a few days later. يعني بعد أيام قليلة أو ثواني قليلة أو دقائق قليلة أو ساعات قليلة. after 10 minutes أو half an hour أوائل يعني بعد 10 دقائق أو بعد نص ساعة. ممكن أستخدم after that يعني بعد ذلك. في النهاية ممكن أستخدم إما finally يعني أخيرا أو in the end